Hello, class. This is Professor Christine Messier, and I know it's been a couple of weeks since I've sent you a video audio to listen to or watch, so I want to welcome you to one of the final weeks, the last 3 weeks of the class, and I appreciate you taking on this 12-week abbreviated course. You've been doing a great job, and I hope to see some fantastic reports coming this week. So on that subject, I wanted to remind you that Chapter 14 is the only chapter that you need to read this week, and there is no discussion topic for it. So read Chapter 14 on planning presentations and take the quiz. So the bulk of your week should be spent on the analytical report that you have to write. So I want to go into some details for you on that. First thing is, it is 100 points towards your grade. I know that the last couple of written reports have only been 10 points. This is a much bigger report. It's a much bigger assignment, so it has more weight to it. So please do not wait till the last minute to take care of this because, again, it's 100 points. It's due no later than 10 p.m. on Monday, May 14th, and there will be no extensions or late submissions permitted. So I strongly advise you to start early this week, and if you have any questions, send me an email through the Blackboard system, and I will respond as soon as possible. Now, you don't have to write down what you see in front of you right now because these are the same instructions that are in the assignment listed in Blackboard. You will see these mandatory items. There's the cover page, which is your title page, table of contents. You'll need an introduction. You'll need the body of the report, which is the bulk of your analytical report. You'll need conclusions and recommendations section, and then a references page. You need to cite all of the references within the body of the paper, whether you quote them or you don't, or you just paraphrase. Make sure that you're citing them within the body of the report and on the separate references page at the end. There's an executive summary, and although that is the last thing that you write regarding your report, you put it as the front page of the report right below the cover title page. Okay, and then you need at least one visual aid, either a graph or a chart. Make it simple, make it clean, make it easy to read. Now there's required formatting, and just as in your last few papers, you need to use Microsoft Word, not a PDF. Please do not submit a PDF to me. Use APA or MLA style formatting for citing references, and there is a link that shows you those formats, and you'll find that in the assignment instructions. And you can use either a narrative style format or a bullet point style format within your paper. That doesn't mean your entire paper is bullet points. Please see the example that has been provided under the assignment tab, the assignment instructions. And make sure you're writing complete sentences, you're spell checking, and you're grammar checking. Nothing is worse than losing points for simple things like spell check and grammar when you've spent so much time and energy on a really fabulous report and you lose points for those simple things that can be corrected pretty easily. In addition, use Times New Roman or Arial 12-point font. I don't want to see any of these really funky fonts or this tiny little print. 1-inch margins on all sides. Headings and subheadings should be obvious and correct formatted. You double space between the paragraphs, which means there should be one blank line between the end of one paragraph and the beginning of the next. Within your paragraphs, the lines should be single spaced. And then you triple space between sections. So if you have a heading or a subheading, before you have that next subheading, you have triple space between. And make sure you're using page numbers as well. Now, a few tips, and these are not only tips for going into any of your classes, but also my little pet peeves. Please, I do not want to see Wikipedia as one of your references on your reference page. You can use Wikipedia to get some preliminary information about a topic, and if you scroll down all the way to the bottom of that Wikipedia page, you will see the external sources that they use. So there'll be links to other articles, and those are the original articles from which they took the data and created the Wikipedia page. Go ahead and use those original sources to get more information, but do not quote or cite Wikipedia in your paper. And then any content you use that's word for word must have quotation marks around it and must have an in-text citation. Any plagiarism, big or small, will result in a 0 for the assignment. So that's 100 points that will be marked down to a 0 if there's any plagiarism. If you're not sure if you have plagiarized, always paraphrase the information and still use the in-text citation. The only difference is when you paraphrase, you're not putting quotation marks around that content. It's only when you take something word for word that you use the quotation marks. And then make sure that you read and reread the assignment instructions. In the last few written assignments that people have submitted, they haven't read the assignment instructions well enough, and again, they're losing small points here and there because they didn't follow those instructions. Make sure you do that and relieve yourself of those hassles. Now, to re-emphasize, there was a discussion topic last week about research papers and the 10 steps. It wouldn't hurt you to go through those 10 steps again and review that video, and I have the 10 steps written here, making sure you're narrowing down a topic, you are addressing the audience that is intended, you're using a variety of sources for your information, you're taking very good notes of not only the information you're taking from sources, but the identification of those other sources so that you have it for your reference page later. Make sure you thoroughly organize your information, make an outline, make sure you're writing the main idea statement so that you can stay focused. Write the report, make sure it has an attention-getting intro, it draws in the reader, makes them want to read the rest of the paper. Write your references page, and then always proofread. Even if that means reading the paper aloud to yourself in a room. You will catch your mistakes better that way. Or if you have somebody who you can show it to, and they can find some of those mistakes because they come in with a fresh set of eyes, that's fantastic. So please make sure that you take care of that. You see that, you look at the instructions, and you do a great job with this report. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to me in an email through the Blackboard system, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I look forward to reading your reports, and have a fantastic week.